Hey crochet friends, I'm Tiffany and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to crochet this really easy no-sew potted plant, and I used my crochet vine tutorial for the leaves, so you may or may not recognize the style of these leaves. But if you're interested in the vine tutorial and maybe you haven't even seen it, I will link that in the description. Now this color I used for the pot. I'm not going to use that for the tutorial. The next pot I will use this color, but I will use the same color for my soil and the same color for my vines. And I got these from Etsy, so I will have that tagged. You just click on it and then I will let you know what colors these four are. Now safety eyes are optional, but if you would like them, they are 8mm. I wouldn't go any smaller because you will be able to pull these through the stitches. 8mm or 10mm is totally fine. You will need a lighter to melt the back of the safety eye if you want to give this away to a baby. You will need a little bit of stuffing, so I'm using polyfill. It does not take a whole lot of stuffing. You will need a 3.75mm crochet hook. You will need a pair of scissors and a darning needle. So grab all that and we will get started. Okay, get your vine color. So we are going to make 4 vines if you want this exact design. One of the vines is going to have just 1 leaf attached to it. One vine is going to have 3 leaves attached to it. And then 2 of the vines have 2 leaves. So that's just the way that this is. You customize yours, but we're going to start with the 1 leaf. So we start with a slip knot, and actually that is way too long. We don't even need a long tail. Like that. So make your slip knot. And this tutorial is not going to be so much beginner friendly because you won't really be able to see the stitches. So get familiar with crochet and all of the stitches, get familiar with using chenille or fleece type yarn, plushy type yarn, and then come back to this tutorial when you are ready. So to make a leaf, you're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and all in the very first chain is going to be our leaf. So all of these stitches that we're going to do goes into that very first chain. So you're going to start with 4 double crochets. That's 1, do 3 more double crochets. And 4. Then you're going to do a triple crochet. Let's wrap the yarn around twice. You're going into that same chain. So we have 4 double crochets, 1 triple crochet. You're going to chain 2. And you're going to slip stitch to the first chain you made. So go into the chain, do your slip stitch. Then we're going to do the mirror image of these stitches. So you're going to start with a triple crochet into that same spot that you've been going in. And then 4 double crochets. that, then you're going to chain 3. Then you're going to slip stitch down into the same hole. Like that. Then you want to pull up on your yarn and maybe about 5 inches or so, you want to cut your yarn. So this very beginning tail, you just want to feed it through the back. So I take my hook and I go on the back side of some of the stitches, and I grab that yarn and I pull through. And if that's too difficult, that's why the darning needle is optional. You can put that on your needle and feed it through, but the hook works just fine. And cut your yarn, but you want to leave your last tail. Okay, we're going to do that all over again, and we're going to add a second leaf above this one. So make your slip knot. You're going to chain 5. And all in that first chain, you're going to do 4 double crochets, one triple crochet, chain 2, slip stitch to the first chain, and then mirror image, triple crochet, and then 4 double crochets. So just 1 triple crochet, 4 double crochets, then chain 3, slip stitch down into the same spot, like that. Okay, we are going to chain 11. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now we're going to go into the 7th chain, so it's easy if you hold on to that, but continue up to 11. So that was 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. So the 7th stitch is the 5th chain from the hook, just like at the beginning when we chained 5, went into the first chain. This is the exact same as that. So if you want a little bit more space between your leaves, chain a little bit more, and then you're going to repeat your leaf all in this chain. So do your 4 double crochets in that chain. And then do your triple crochet, chain 2, slip stitch to the first chain, triple crochet, and then 4 double crochets. I'm so sorry. Then chain 3, then slip stitch down into that space. Now this is when you want to pull up on your hook, cut your yarn, and then feed this beginning tail on the back of this leaf. And then you have your vine that has 2 leaves, and you want to make a second one. You could make a second one that just has 1 leaf. Customize this how you want. I'm going to go ahead and make my second one real quick off camera. Okay, I made my second one, and now we just want a vine that has 3. So now you're doing the same thing as you did for the 2 leaves, but instead of yarning off, you're going to chain 11 and continue with a 3rd leaf. Simple as that. So start with your first slip knot and begin chaining 5, and then do everything in the first chain. Do your 4 double crochets, do your triple crochet, chain 2, slip stitch to the first chain, triple crochet, four double crochets, chain 3, and slip stitch down into the center. First leaf done, chain 11, hold on to that 7th chain, and then do everything in that chain again. 4 double crochets, 1 triple crochet, chain 2, slip stitch into the first chain, 1 triple crochet, 4 double crochets, chain 3, and slip stitch down into the center. Second leaf is made, and repeat that all over again. Chain 11, go into the 5th chain from the hook, which is the 7th chain, and then do all of those steps all over again for a 3rd time. slip stitch down into the center, and now you have your 3 leaves. Super cute. Then pull on your hook, cut your yarn, feed your first tail. Once you have all of your tails, you're going to gather these together and you're going to tie them together with a simple knot. So grab a hold of them, take all of these tails, the longer they are, the better, or the easier, I guess. You want to feed them through. And then cinch up your knot. And then when you go to close up with the soil, this knot will go on the inside and then it will not come out once you cinch up the soil. But save this for later. Okay, get your pot color and we are going to start with a magic ring. So you lay your yarn like that. I wrap the yarn around my fingers. I rotate my hand and hold it like this. Go under and over. I pull that yarn, I rotate it, and then I go behind this yarn and I take this loop through this loop. Then I pull on my tail so it's not so huge of a magic ring, and then I do pull on the tail as I do round 1 so it's easy to close afterward. So we're going to do 8 single crochets, and you want to mark the first one because we are going to work in a spiral, so we won't be doing a slip stitch. You'll need to know that first stitch. So I'm just going to get a scrap piece of yarn. And we need 7 more single crochets. So 2, 8. So 8 total single crochets. Close your magic ring. Totally forgot to pull on that tail as I went, but luckily it closed up beautifully. You're going to go into where your stitch is marked. We're going to do 2 single crochets in every single stitch for round 2. Let's go into that first single crochet, do 2, but mark the first one. So go back into the same exact stitch, do a second single crochet, and then do that in every stitch around. 2 single crochets, and you're going to have 16 single crochets at the end of this round. Okay, for round 3, we're going to do back post single crochets in every single stitch. So you go on the back side of the very next stitch. So you're going from the back out the front under both of the loops, and then you go over to the next stitch, you go under the 2 loops and out the back. Then do your single crochet. So grab your yarn, pull it through, and you're just on the back side, and then do your single crochet and then mark that. Do that again, go into the next stitch under the top 2 loops, go under the next stitch to the back, grab your yarn, pull it through, and do your single crochet. From the back to the front, the next stitch, grab your yarn, If this is too difficult, just do back loop only single crochets all the way around. You'll sort of get a flat bottom to your pot just by doing back loop only single crochets, but this gives you a really flat bottom. So totally up to you, but do this all the way around and you will have 16 stitches again. Okay, round 4 to round 8 is really easy because we're just doing one single crochet all the way around, just in the regular stitches. So starting in that very first stitch, do a single crochet and make sure to mark it, and then go all the way around for 16 single crochets. And then we will place the eyes between the 4th and 5th round. So I can do that maybe at the end of the 6th round. Totally up to you. Just go up as high as you want and then place your eyes just wherever. But if you want to place them on the 4th or 5th round, like me, I'll just work up to maybe the 6th round and I will pick back up with you. Okay, I finished my 6th round, so grab your eyes. And then, so this was the 6th round, so this is 4 and 5. It just goes right between 4 and 5. But you put your eyes whatever looks good to you, and then it's 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches away. And you can place your eyes however apart or close you want. And when you are happy with that, put on the backs. Guys, do one click. And then melt the point and flatten that point. Like that, and it won't come out. And this is already cool, so you can continue crocheting, no problem. Flip it right side out, and this was that 6th round, so I still need to do round 7 and 8. Just regular single crochets. I'm gonna tuck in my first tail. So I will see you at the end of round 8. And don't finish that final stitch of round 8. We will color change to our soil. Okay, get your soil ready. I have 15 single crochets. I still need to do my 16th one, but we will color change with that. So start your single crochet, and when you have 2 loops, you don't want to complete the single crochet with this color. You want to grab this yarn, lay it on your hook, pull it through to complete that single crochet. Now for round 9, we're going to do back loop only single crochets, starting in the very next stitch and in each stitch around, just in the back loops. And I'm going to secure my tail. I'm going to cut this yarn first. And I'm going to tie a simple double or triple knot and tuck that in. Bear is right here. Every time I cut yarn, he wants a piece of the tails. He likes black yarn. I don't want to cut my brown since I'm using it, but I will give him that color. He doesn't think he can take it. Yeah, you don't like that color? I beg to differ. You're just behaving because you're on camera. You can take it. So continue your back loop only single crochets, and you will still have 16 single crochets at the end of round 9. Okay, for the final round, we are going to single crochet 2 together or single crochet decrease with every 2 stitches. So go into the first stitch, go behind your yarn, pull up a loop, go into the next stitch, go behind your yarn, pull up a loop, wrap the yarn around, pull through. You can decrease the invisible way. This is just a lot easier. But you want to decrease with every 2 stitches, and you will get down to 8 stitches. Final decrease. Now you want to cut your yarn not too short because you want to be able to close this hole at the top, and he can have the color he wants. He usually takes it and walks off and drowns it in the fountain. I don't know why you are being such a good boy on camera. I don't have black yarn. It's the closest I'm gonna get. Oh, he's funny. I'm gonna pull my yarn all the way through. Now you want to stuff this before closing this. Okay, and before we put the tails into this, it's a lot easier while this is open and you have access to it. My marker. I'm gonna put this on my needle, but you can weave this with your hook. So you just want to go in the front loop only of every stitch. So you go out the top, but you could feed this with your hook. Just go under 8, front loop only. And then you want to add your tails and push that knot below soil level and then cinch this shut, and then the knot will be below that and it won't come back out. So just push those all the way and make sure that knot gets below when you cinch. So I'm gonna carefully pull my tail and get that knot on the inside. And then pull it all the way like that. So the knot is below that cinch, so it won't come out. Perfect. Then you just want to feed your tail in and out, over and over, all the way around. You can do this with your hook as well. as many times as you want. That way, if you wanted to wash this, it won't unravel. When you're satisfied, cut that tail, push the excess back down in, fluff up those vines, and then admire your work. You have a nice, cute little no-sew potted plant, or two, or however many you want to make. You could pop them in a hanger. That would be so cute. I hope you loved this pattern and enjoyed making these potted plants with me, and have fun making these cute little planters. Bye, crochet friends.